Hey YouTubers. Unlike previous videos, I'm not going to bore you with you just idealism or any other BS. We're just going to pull cards and see where it takes us. Like, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Take what resonates and leave the rest behind. Ooh, we have 7 of Cups energy. Who knows what's going to happen? We have so many choices. What choice shall we pick? What reality shall we manifest? I don't know. King of Cups energy. That's a good one. The wise old elder. Take you out of your worries. But we have decision. I mean, this is kind of like 7 of Cups energy, right? Sorry, I'm just processing. Processing. So it seems to me we've got some assets that we're not exactly sure how to ground out. To me, this is always this energy, right? You've got assets that you might even be unaware of. And there are some miscommunications in your environment that are straining the heart space, right? When the heart doesn't communicate, a lot of times it doesn't matter how well we communicate. Depending on who we have been around for a while. So we're going energetically through the Lionsgate portal here. What day? That's 8/8. What's today? 7:31. I guess that's when I'm making this video. So tomorrow's 1st. So we're looking at just right at a week before the collective is going through major energetic changes, which means you may be tied energetically to somebody that's the end of a relationship. So fast-moving energy, taking time to look and see what we're creating here in our lives. A little bit of magician energy, fast-moving energy. Processing. Oh, 9 of Cups energy. And these two came out together. A lot of competing wills and mental power. See, like 5 of Swords basically is mind. 5 of Wands is will. A lot of competing wills and competing agendas, right? It is what it is. So the collective really hasn't found its collective purpose yet, right? So one thing of course I can't get away from now this is state of reality. This isn't idealism. You'll see spiritual conduits that on YouTube that have not mastered the art of forgiveness or letting go of the past. Sometimes the things that we need to say, we say out of love, will trigger other people, right? I'm sure anybody watching this video will probably be aware of that. A lot of times when you say something to somebody and it's something that they need to deal with, it'll trigger them, right? I mean, let's say I was just a complete and total like blob laying in a corner all day long, and I refuse to see that that state of being was causing me a lot of grief and creation of ineptitude, right? Well, now it may not trigger me if somebody points it out, right? It may or may not, right? Depending on my state of mind. You can't just speak for somebody else just out of hand. You know, you really don't. All of us don't know. Some people accept certain ways of being and refuse to change, right? But change is good. Change is never bad. Altruism is always a pretty rough path that forces you to change in a lot of your views points. There are ways. So I was thinking about this earlier. This was a download I got after I made yesterday's video. A lot of the ways that we have accepted the way the society works, we don't directly, there's no reason to directly confront it, right? Because you're dealing with somebody's belief systems. The only way for belief systems to change is for them to slowly break down over time. The organism is going to grow whether you like it or not. It's part of the nature reality. And in order for the organism to grow, old viewpoints that are not beneficial to the whole will eventually get struck down. Right? And this is one viewpoint that I will not back down on, that it doesn't matter how it manifests. Eventually money will go away because the energy that you put out there comes back to you. How that manifests could be anyway. I mean, we're coming to the end of an age, so we're energetically experiencing a field collapse where our bodies, our minds, everything is going through changes where we might need to eat less, heightened sensitivity during the day. But you don't get to those states without bleeding off all the negative energy first, right? It's a growth process, sine wave, back and forth energy where you're bleeding, coming into higher states, bleeding off energy, coming into higher states until you're, people call it emotional intelligence, people call it all this stuff, but it really is just an energetic process of just being more confident in what you have to offer people. Leaving old emotional states behind, kind of what I'm talking about here in our Nine of Pentacles energy, but mastering ourselves and the burdens that we carry internally. That's what this is telling me. Your burden could be anything, right? The burden that you're carrying internally could be, and everybody's different. A lot of times people get brought together to heal each other of specific traumas that are different from both sides, right? Some people, and I've seen people explain this to me, that the twin flame journey has a lot to do with healing opposite traumas in counterparts. So you'll have one counterpart healing the trauma of the other, sometimes even from a distance, right? Where one trauma that I've noticed, and I'm not sure, there is a fear of being seen on YouTube. A lot of people hide their identity or their physical vessel, which who cares, right? This is immortal. And this is some advice that I will give you guys that I will never back down on. If you ever feel like you need to hide this physical vessel from somebody, you don't. This isn't you, right? This is just an access point in the system. You're looking at this three-dimensional. You're just accessing this. You can't kill you, right? any more than I could kill me. You and I are one at the highest level, right? And so we manifest ourselves in this precipitation of source in different dimensions, and then access different realities depending on what kind of vessel is manifesting in each dimension. That's the easiest way that I can put it. So the burdens that we carry in each one of those are different. And then how that we experience ourselves grows more complicated as this vessel grows more complex. It's always creating new things from old. Never the same thing twice. This is one thing that that's why experiencing yourself is this ever-present process. Happens continually over time. I mean, never think, oh, my goal is next week. We're going to make it through next week, and then, pow, everything's great, right? Not true. You're always going through inner stuff, and you're always being on, right? Until, I mean, you could just go back to source, and then just experience the whole, but you'll never exist as a vessel in any part of the system if you experience yourself as the whole, right? It's impossible. And the whole is always experiencing itself in different ways because there's new things being created constantly, creating new vessels. So, very exciting. What's next? Sword of Truth and Hierophant. Yeah. So this is true, right? What I'm speaking is the truth. Of all the things you're going to hear, this is the truth. We're always experiencing ourselves in new ways. And the systems we create now will probably not be in existence in 2,000 years. Or 4,000 years. Whatever. But what's good for us now is not going to be good for us in 2,000 years because it's this, it breaks down roughly 2,000 year cycles that change, every time we have a change in the equinox. As soon as we move from, into Aquarius, then we're going to move into Capricorn eventually. And so when we move into Capricorn, it's going to be something different. I didn't make up the rules. I'm just here. Or, we could create everlasting peace in this reality for a long, 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 long time. Because if we move into a fifth dimensional being, if we manifest as a fifth dimensional being, we're not going to be the timelines for a fifth dimensional being are much longer than a third dimensional being. Right, hundreds of thousands of years, possibly millions of years. I don't know. So from our perspective, it looks like infinite time. So, which is why Revelation, the Bible really is a good document, right? It has, and I've heard somebody recently say that the Abrahamic religions are kind of in conflict with Buddhist and other religions, but they're not. And I could explain it in a really long video, and I'm not going to. It's pointless for me to do that. But when you look at the basics of what's being taught in every spiritual text, it all comes down to El Elyon, the Most High God, or Source, and Elohim, which is the creator of their own realities. Everything is creating its own reality according to its own understanding. A flower creates its own reality according to its own understanding. It's very small, right? I mean, what's the consciousness of a flower? I don't know. Or an ant. Or a bug. Or a turnip. Right. But as structures grow more complicated, we move more energy and information. And so we create a more profound reality that we experience through each other. Right? So, very cool. Very, very cool. So, let's just get an oracle. Well, let's get one more card. Let's work off of our Hierophant and Sword of Truth, becoming greater versions of ourselves as we're letting go of burdens. It's all about letting go of burdens. I mean, there's 10 sticks there. So this guy's way down. He's going in 10 different directions at once, right? I mean, the poor guy, it just looks like his back hurts, right? I mean, come on. So much stuff going on. I can tell you. I can relate. I can relate. I can tell you. This is one of the coolest cards I think in the deck. And to me, I think it's it's a very profound card when you put it next to the other six cards. So, like the Six of Wands shows a guy on a horse who, man and female, whatever, in a victory circle, right? He's got a wreath and they're celebrating. From an emotional aspect, this is a victory, right? When somebody provides love for somebody else. This is emotions of the past, right? A lot of times this is sometimes, but sometimes it's just innocent love given and received. This is one of my favorite cards in the deck. To me, this one is more powerful than the Two of Cups. I love this card. Every time I see this card, it's just so innocent, right? It's like, yeah. The Six of Swords, we pulled the Six of Swords earlier, didn't we? I think we did. Yeah, we did. We're moving away from old emotionals to calmer waters emotionally, mentally. And from an emotional aspect, it doesn't get any more calmer than innocent love given and received, right? That's the basis of basically everything that we will ever achieve in this lifetime. I mean, that's the simplest part of all of it, right? You could try and twist it into business relationships, but business will always get in the way in some ways of this. And so this, to me, is why we're here. To rediscover ourselves through each other and innocently give love and receive it. Yeah. Unconditional love. Don't ever hold on to the past. And this is something that doesn't matter who you're. This is the most powerful card. This is the most powerful way to view yourself. And it's the most powerful way to view anybody else. Because if you view everybody else in this light, no matter what, and accept them just for the way they are, you will always be in your Empress and Emperor energy. No matter what you're doing, sometimes you get pulled off your path. But if you try to do everything you can to keep this state, because everything is just trying to figure this out to get to this state, because this state is what connects you with everything. Love you guys. Have a beautiful day, and can't wait for the what's going to happen at the Lionsgate portal. Maybe we'll turn it into a grapefruit. Love you guys. Have a good one.